Hey, welcome to another episode of the Goalpost, and I'm joined by Modise and Tandani. Today, you Tandani, so like
Yeah, always changing.
constantly changing your name. How you doing, gents?
Versatile. Good, how are you, brother?
No,
Good,
I'm
good, man.
awesome.
Very good.
I'm awesome. If Zweli was a player, like he'd be João Cancelo, him being a left
Yeah,
right, world class left back and right back type of
yes, sir.
shaddies. Yeah. Yeah, so gents, of course, today's episode, Modise as well with the jersey and everything, Into be short, that's just him to rock shades, just to, confirm how he's feeling. But gents, how are you guys feeling about Ole Gunnar Solskjær leaving our club finally after 10 years?
10 years.
For me personally, right? Like it
Yeah,
was a case of putting him out of his misery, because the man
yeah,
was he was just going through the most. I can't even say I saw him trying different things and they weren't even working. I'm just happy that he's out of his misery and we can potentially move forward. That's just me.
No, we
yeah.
are moving forward, Zweli. Hey, I
Yeah,
was happy. After the game, if you watched towards the end, he walked towards the fans and started clapping. Oh,
Yeah.
Tam is there.
Hey,
He
dog.
started clapping.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, and I said to my fiance here that it's the end. Now he's going. You can see he knows that this is the last time he's setting foot here. So no, I was happy. Look, I mean, he's a legend of the club, but yeah, his legendariness didn't pull through on the managerial part of it. So
Yeah.
it was time. No, it was time.
Yeah, and they always say you're as good as your last game. And for me, my memory of Solskjaer will be this tenure, guys. Unfortunately, like I'm sorry, I can't look past what he's done for us in the past. I'm looking at him right now as a man. This man has just like for me, I won't lie, roller coaster of emotions, dog. Like
yeah.
but I'm just glad that finally, after such a long time, I just have another question for you guys. This one just came up now. Like, were you guys like after the Europa League final loss? Were you guys still all in? Did you guys like still believe that this dude could pull the rabbit out of the hat? Starting with you, Maurice. Let's start
I've
with you.
never been Ole in. Personally. Even when he came in, if you remember, he came in as a caretaker, and then
Yeah,
he won a few games. Then they said, "Hey, he's the one, permanent."
yeah,
Then he's never been consistent. I've never been convinced with the type of football we play. Last season we came second by a mile. The
Ooh,
gap was ridiculous. I mean, Liverpool was off form. Chelsea almost caught up with us after coming from what 13th when Tuchel came in.
yeah.
I mean, it was ridiculous. We didn't have a plan, and what I hate the most is that even if you go on Twitter, all the stats speak about how much budget they gave him to spend. He had all the backing in the world from the board. He did nothing. Not one trophy. We lost to Villarreal on penalties in the Europa. I'll never
Guys,
forgive him.
my G, that one for me, that was the nail in the coffin for me. But anyway,
Yeah.
it's really,
No, I agree with Mudise. I mean, like if you look at everyone who's come in since Sir Alex, at least everybody they gave us a trophy. There was some sort of success. Everybody
yeah,
gave us something, and like Medisa says, his biggest claim to fame was coming second by a mile. Got us to the final, we lost. Like I think Ole's biggest thing that he gave us was hope, false hope.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah,
yeah, and it's crushing, man, because we are Manchester United. We're a team that is so used to winning. Obviously, it was 8 years ago, and time has passed. But we're a brand name, man. So Ole, I'm very sorry. There was a time, I won't lie. There was a time when I was like, let's give him the benefit of the doubt, and I think that's what your first question was about like us being sentimental. But it was
yeah,
it was the fact that he was, a club legend. He was stepping into a phase where we didn't know what was going on. So I was a bit Ole in, but there were too many things that were showing me that, bro, this guy is not doing the things. He's not doing the job. And when you looked across the pond or you looked at other teams, they were getting new managers and succeeding. I looked at what Tuchel did, and I was upset, man. I
Yeah,
was angry, but yeah.
With the
So
same team, with an average team, and he won the
exactly,
Champions League, guys.
and
exactly.
easily, Chief. And
Like,
it wasn't even tough for him to win the Champions League. The manner in
Yeah,
which Tuchel Chelsea won the Champions League, it was calculated. You could see tactically, especially in the final. He
thank
just
yeah,
you.
yeah applied his tactics, and Pep as usually likes overthinking at times. But I'm not saying he's a bad manager in any way. But I'm just saying that like Chelsea, they pulled the rabbit out of their hat, to a point where even the fans were even shocked that they actually won that trophy.
yeah,
Yeah. But
I mean,
anyway,
if you
yeah, sorry.
sorry to jump in, but if you look at
Yeah,
Chelsea before Tuchel came in, just before when Lampard was managing,
yeah,
I mean, even when we were going to play at Stamford Bridge, I wasn't scared. The
yeah,
moment Tuchel started playing, everybody
yeah,
was scared. Everybody with the
yeah.
same team, the same Mason Mount, the same everybody. Why couldn't we do that with all the money that we spent on the wrong players?
yeah.
Yes,
Literally, and
guys.
I think we spent the most since Ole got to our club. We spent the most
Dude, it's
money, which
close
is
to
sad because once
two.
again we didn't win a thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Man,
yeah.
we
And
spend more than Man City with a blank check. They have a blank check. Hey, we
Dude,
went for Harry
yeah.
Maguire. Man, yo,
let's not talk about that
Yeah.
man. I
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I,
yeah.
I low key hope the next manager comes through and realizes that that man is a fraud.
Yeah.
He has been a fraud. He's cost out teams so many times. I hate this thing of English players being praised and put on a pedestal when they aren't that good, in my opinion.
Exactly. And I feel you, really, bro. Like I feel like a lot of them are overrated, and not to say that they suck. You
Yeah, yeah,
being
not at all.
someone being overrated doesn't mean that they suck. It's just that they're not of the level of maybe like French ballers or your
Yeah,
German ballers. And then I just wanted to touch on the weekend's fixture, guys. I'm not sure if you guys watched Watford and United. Like for me personally, like that game, it's as if our players as well, the way they played, they saw that the writing was on the wall, and for us to lose like that against Watford, guys, like it's just telling, Wuti, like we really weren't going to go anywhere. I mean, David De Gea did his thing, saving two penalties. The initial one, I mean, was of course it was a retake, and he still saved the second one, just to
he
show
still
you
saved it, bro.
yeah, just to show you that the players that he pretty much like, even remember De Gea was our captain, and then he called
Yeah,
out all his tactics, and then they stripped him off the armband. Donny van der Beek pulls through, flourishes. Donny like was
I,
playing, he was trying to save
I,
yeah,
all his job pretty much. Like when he
we've
came
spoken
in,
about that guy so
yeah,
many times, X. He
yeah,
proved a point.
yeah, dog, yeah, he
Sorry.
really
No,
did.
go
No, no, no.
continue.
Nah, I just wanted to like like highlight his performance in particular, Donny van der Beek. Like imagine, okay, this is whole hypotheticals now. Imagine if United actually like maybe gotten a result out of that, all because of Donny, guys. Like it would have what like that would have just made Ole even look even more terrible as a manager.
yeah,
It would have shown how vulnerable he is as a player. I'm sorry, as a manager rather. But like um from a sentimental perspective, I've been watching. I'm not sure if you guys saw his video on
Mm,
YouTube and Twitter. I
yes.
would play it right now, but a copyright infringements on YouTube would force this video
yeah.
to be removed. But like, are you guys like sad as well, like after watching that video, or is it like, are you guys like X, who isn't sad at all? Yeah,
Modise?
I'm not sad. I think for the love
yeah,
of football and for the
yeah,
sake of the team that I want to win with everything inside of me, I'm not sad. Look, like I said, he's a legend. We've got to give him the
yeah,
respect he deserves. I mean, he came in at a time where we didn't have a choice. And honestly, I'm not happy with what the Glazers have done in the last couple of years with the team.
yeah,
Yeah,
And if you recall, there was some sort of protest thing just under a year ago where the guys wanted to go back to the original colors of Manchester, the green and yellow, I think it was,
Yeah.
where the people were upset, man. They were just over the decision making of the Glazers. And I think bringing in Ole so early in his managerial career, I mean, I mean, you can't manage a team like we can't now go and give Cristiano Man United to come and manage. It's too early for him, honestly. We can't even go and call a Wayne Rooney, no matter how well they perform. And we saw Chelsea made the mistake with Frank Lampard.
Yeah.
But look how Steven Gerrard is building himself now. The day he walks into Anfield, he is going to win every little thing uh, under the sun, because he's starting small and he's building his brand so nicely. He's
Yeah.
learning the game of managing at reasonable sized teams, at the right level. So it was too soon for Ole, and we should have picked it up as caretaker that he doesn't have a plan. So I'm not sad. I mean, like I say, he's a legend of the game. He's a legend of Man United, though he didn't play much. And we keep forgetting that. We call him a legend, but he didn't play a lot. They benched him there,
Yeah.
But he
But
did the same as Divock. He came on and won every now and then. You watch
Yeah.
stuff with him.
Really.
But I agree with you,
Yeah.
Modise. I agree. I agree.
yeah, exactly. So, yeah, man. I mean, he speaks well. Look, I appreciate the fact that he did that video. As a man, it takes courage to do that. Let's be honest. Not a lot of managers do post-firing interviews. As a man, I
Yeah,
respect him for that, for
yeah,
standing up
yeah.
and saying, "Look, I messed up. I flopped. The results weren't coming. I have to go." But on the pitch and watching, and as a fan, I'm glad he's gone.
Yeah. And then usually, are you over the
I
moon?
agree with Modise. I think it was as you said, as we said earlier, that because it was a sentimental hire, there were times when the emotions were just up and down. I was happy, then Ronaldo would save his job, and I was angry. I was like, dude, if CR7 wasn't on the pitch, what was gonna happen? And then the results weren't coming, and then he pulled out one out the bag. So my emotions were just all over the place, right? So when he eventually was gone, like I was drained. I was drained. I was just like, I dude, Ole, you've had your chances. You've had your chance. You've had your time. And I want to speak to the fact that in terms of the way that we were playing, it wasn't even like we were doing well, but the results just weren't coming. We weren't playing
Mm,
well. Our players were not stepping up. Tactically, Ole, it's like he didn't know who we're playing against. They were
mm.
like what Liverpool did to us, bro, was an insult.
Dude.
It was an insult.
Yesterday hurt more than Liverpool, gents. I'm sorry.
Fair,
Watford 4.
fair, fair.
Watford
Yeah,
4.
4-1.
And you had Dennis. Dennis, I used to watch him when he played for Club Brugge because he was playing with
Yeah.
Pesitao, right?
Yeah.
That guy dominated United like there's no tomorrow. He
Yeah,
dominated. I mean, come on, man. You have Harry Maguire, 80 million, being dominated by 4 million. Hmm?
I, I,
Ah,
I just
I
don't
don't.
like the way that man plays football. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree, man. I
I
agree.
know,
Like
but Zweli, yeah, but Zweli, you've always been like you've never felt Harry Maguire from since
since day
inception.
one,
From the
dog.
moment we signed him, you're like, what are we doing, dog?
Since
You
day
saw the
one, bro.
vision, dog.
For me,
ah,
he was just very
Yeah,
fortunate to be in a team where Mahrez, Kante, Vardy were
mm,
banging, you know,
yeah,
mm,
and and I think if for me personally, I think Wes Morgan was probably doing more than he was for
yes.
the team at that time. So for us to have signed him, it was just once again he's English. Let's fork out the money.
yeah,
But why didn't we keep Keane? What's his name? Michael Keane, the guy that's at Everton.
exactly.
That
At
guy came
Everton,
through our
Yeah,
youth ranks. We
yeah,
saw that guy's quality as he was building up. Why do we let go of those people? We made the mistake with Pogba. We had to bring him back. We made the same mistake. We can see it in the centre back position. And honestly, me, Harry, there's been performances where he convinced me, where, especially the Euros, which we discussed, where he played and you're like, okay, yeah, no, if he can bring this performance to United, I fair. And then he
yeah.
goes and celebrates for scoring against San Marino, really, and playing scoring against. I mean, come on, guys. That team, they said they haven't won in however many games.
yeah, they have a zero
Yeah,
percent win rate.
Come on. So
imagine.
why are you celebrating? The chances are high. I'll score. Me, I'll score there. So they were at the Euro. I was really convinced with what Harry could offer, but
Yeah,
yeah, since then it's just been gone south, and Man, it's sad. Maybe even at the Euro, maybe John Stones made him look good and we didn't notice. Who knows?
Yeah. Another thing is as well, James. Like when I knew we were gonna. I won't say we were gonna lose 4-0. I won't say I knew we were gonna lose 4-1 rather. But I knew that by us starting Matic and McTominay, when it comes to covering the ground, those two guys are not mobile. I knew that our midfield was gonna
Yeah,
get bypassed. And in the first half, like I even told the gents, I'm like, gents, it's late for us. We're not gonna do anything. Yeah. Then guys are like, ah, please, yeah, yeah, being negative again. Then I'm like, bruh, I'm just, thinking logically that these guys can't run, bro. We're gonna
yeah,
get cleverly, bruh. Cleverly is gonna distress. And that's what literally happened, bro. Like,
yeah.
brother, hey, that was very like I knew that it's late for Ole, and I'm just glad that this is over. But guys, moving on to the next question, I hear that Michael Carrick might be our interim coach, but because he doesn't have his UEFA badges, like he doesn't have them to the levels of Ole,
Exactly.
he can only manage 6 games. Like,
Yeah.
what's your take on Carrick taking over? Like from Carrick's perspective and as well from United's perspective, because from a from a planning standpoint, I just feel as if we haven't like done any planning as far as to who's gonna be our next manager. But Zweli, yeah, you
For
can go
me,
for it.
right now, it's about damage control, right?
Yeah,
There's no trying to win the league. There's no trying to, I don't know, get the most out of players right now. It's about damage control. And I think right
yeah.
now, Michael Carrick is not the person for that. I think I
Mhm.
saw someone on social media that Steve Bruce wants to step in as our
Ah,
interim manager. You
yeah.
know, and no, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. But I'm just saying,
Yeah,
right now we're at a stage where we need damage control.
yeah.
For me, dog, I'm right now wishful thinking. I'm gunning for the fifth position. That's me,
Damn.
wishful thinking. I'm not even gunning for top four, dog.
Man, we have to get top four. This is
I'd love.
Manchester
I
United.
can't see Cristiano in Europa, but it's tough, guys.
He'll, man, we
Yeah,
have to get top four. We have to. We
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to get top four. It doesn't matter who comes in, they have to make sure that they get top four. But, on Carrick, for me, his experience, I mean, he didn't influence much of Ole's game plan, of Ole's
zero.
tactics. I mean, he was Ole's right hand man. Look at Arteta. We could see his impact at City. You can see now what he's able to do with Arsenal, though he started off on a low. And that's what you need in an assistant manager. Look at Rulani locally
yeah,
from Pizzo. Look what he's doing now. I mean, Rulani's never played proper professional football, but
Yeah,
he's managing and he's dominating the league, and that's what you need from an assistant manager. You need an assistant manager that you can groom into a position that. So I mean, these next 6 games, if I was United, I'd let them just play this one game, and then we need to bring in somebody very very quickly, and we need somebody as good as Tuchel to come do what Tuchel did. We've lost out on Conte, but we've got to do something. As we need somebody as good as Tuchel, and my guy is Zidane, but it doesn't look like he's coming.
yeah. Apparently, Zidane's wife isn't keen on moving to Manchester, And I saw on Twitter a lot of guys were commenting saying that Zidane will get you a new wife, dog. Like,
Clean, chief, just leave.
clean,
You'll
cheap,
find
you
some
know.
man. Come play
I
for
think
us.
I'd love Zidane
Yeah,
to come, but there's so many challenges that come with Zidane coming. There's a language barrier. If you look at Leeds, Bielsa has a translator, and it's tough to as someone who plays soccer, it's tough to get the message across when it comes through a translator. And I love that Modise used Arteta as an
yeah,
example for Pep, right? Because Arteta being Spanish with Pep, there was an ease to getting the most out of certain players who spoke the
Mm.
Spanish language. If you look at us, back to Michael Carrick, you would think that Michael Carrick being the right hand man, being English, our English players would flourish, but that just didn't happen. It just isn't happening. It didn't happen. Who's flourishing? That's English. Probably Wan Bissaka and Luke Shaw. I know Wan Bissaka is coaching, but who else? Who else? Maguire, nigga. Who else?
and Nana, bro. Even Sancho looks like. hey man, he doesn't look like himself, bro, and that's
But
purely because of the tactics. Yeah,
and they killed Sancho's confidence, my guy. I mean,
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
even in yesterday's game, if you watch Donny played well. He runs into spaces well. He moves around pretty well. He
yeah,
manages the game pretty well. But he lost the ball a couple of times, and that's because he's not playing enough. Play the guys
yeah,
enough. Can we right now tell us who's the last game we played Sancho left wing? Now we're playing him right wing. Now,
yeah,
what are we trying to do? We need to build consistency. It's either Rashford is going to stay on the left, Sancho's going to
yeah,
play on the right, and that's it. Let's build. If they're going to switch during the game, that's a different conversation. But now to entirely just put the guy on a different, it's like we don't know what we want to do with him.
Can
yeah.
I touch on that? I love the fact that Modise used the word consistency. If you
Yeah,
look at Ahmad Diallo, is his name
yeah.
Diallo? Not
Yes,
Diallo,
the
yeah,
young
yeah.
boy. Yeah.
He's playing with our under 23s. It sucks that he's not playing in the first team squad, but at least he's playing games. When Ole was doing Donny dirty, the boy wasn't even playing with the under 23s. Maybe contract ties, whatever, whatever. But like
yeah,
Modise said, he needed game time. You can't throw him on
Mm,
and be like, okay, Donny, sparkle us.
yeah,
So we
mm.
lack consistency with positions. We lack consistency with formations. We lack consistency with, I don't know, game performances. And I hate the thing of everybody going so hard on when players' consistencies are up and down. That's where we
yeah,
look at our manager and we're like, dude, you aren't getting the most out of your players. So yeah, man, it's a
yeah,
very
So,
frustrating.
so another player I
yeah,
just want to touch on is Bailey. I mean, Bailey
yeah,
saved us against Atalanta. Then
No,
they played him the next game. Ne? He played
yeah,
very
yeah,
well against Atalanta. Then he played the next game. That's where he scored the own goal, right?
yeah,
yeah.
Then he was benched.
Yeah, but that was a
Why?
mistake though. Like for me, I feel
yeah.
like that was
That
any
could
that could have happened to anyone. The way that ball travels so
exactly,
fast, bro.
Yeah,
Like I don't blame him
exactly,
for that own goal.
exactly. But that guy
Yeah,
has the strength. He has the fighting spirit.
the
He's
speed.
playing for the badge. He's playing
yeah.
for Manchester United. He was proud to don the shirt. Why are we not playing him? Why are we benching him and playing Harry Maguire? Hmm?
Dude. Yes. And then I see Atami says Eric Ten Hag is the only coach in Europe to save United right now. Personally, I rate Ten Hag. It's just that right now, Ajax are flourishing. They are unbeaten in the Champions League. They are, you know what I mean? They're killing it right now. So I don't think Ten Hag would leave his post right now. And as well, when it comes to the structure of our club, I think let's move on to that topic right now.
Mm,
As much as we've sacked Ole, his backroom staff still remains, right? So essentially, he's still there. It's like how Robert Mugabe left, passed away, and ZANU PF is still in power. So I
Yeah,
find
yeah.
it's the same as if you see the what again, the party's still in power, so that means things are not going to change. Things are going to still remain the same,
yeah,
So like with Man United, okay, I think Modise and I have covered this briefly, but like Sir Alex Ferguson being in our club, I feel like it's not really helping us move forward.
yeah,
Feel like we still trapped in 2012 when the world was meant to end, and like we really aren't like moving forward. Like I just wanted to hear your thoughts on that. Maybe you guys can drop some gems that maybe I'm overreacting, yeah, but yeah, start with you, Zweli, bro.
No, I completely agree with you, bro. It's
Yeah,
it's 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 created a weird aura around the club of who's actually in charge here. You know,
yeah,
especially when Sir Alex Ferguson comes down and has chats to motivate. Remember when he went to our training session to motivate Ole and the players? Like
yeah.
you're meant to be a suit in the office. Leave the football to the footballing team or management style. So I agree with you, man. Even like some of the decisions, some of the comments that have been made, it's very
Mm,
like I remember once Ole didn't play Ronaldo, and Sir Alex Ferguson said like, "How do you do that? You're meant to play your best players. Like, don't leave. You're
you,
not in the football management anymore. Leave that team to make their own decisions because it throws off attitudes. It throws off. It creates a weird aura. I don't know how to put this into words. It's
mm,
like who's
yeah,
really in charge here? In other words, who's
mm,
really in
yeah,
mm.
charge? And you,
Yeah, no, I mean, I've said it the last time and I'll say
yeah,
it again. Sir Alex must go retire. He must go sit
yeah,
somewhere far. eat his money nicely. United can keep paying him. We don't care. But he must stay away from the decision making. Ever since he
Yeah.
left, United has been on a down because we are too dependent on him. We brought in Ryan Giggs. We've tried Ryan Giggs as a manager. All the managers we've brought in, nobody has really given me the tick, basically. And they were all selected by him. Everybody that has
Yeah.
came in was all back. Now he's busy. Rumors has it that he's backing Pochettino. I'm not sure Pochettino wants to leave PSG where he can become a legend. Actually, I wouldn't leave if I was
Mhm.
him. For me, Sir Alex, it's time, man. I mean, look at what Chelsea's doing. Chelsea's making their own decisions. They let go of their legend in no time. They didn't waste time to let go of their own legend. So I don't see why we can't do the same thing and become a world class team.
Yeah, no, that's true, bro. Like I fully agree with you, Budise. And my thing is that part of the reasons why Man United want Pochettino is because Pochettino has never won anything of significance, right? And
Yeah.
so, from a standard standpoint, and as well, he's also a coach who's very good at utilizing his squad even when he doesn't have the money, you know. So he
Yeah.
knows how to really milk, not necessarily milk, but he knows how to work with what he currently has. Pochettino, for me, he's a good coach at building a squad. But for him to take the squad to the next level, I'm not sure if he is capable of that. I just want to first see him do it at PSG first, because right now with PSG, I mean, he's got the Champions League. I won't even count the league because the league guys come on. It's he should be winning the league. Like it's there, it's given, you know. But yeah, man, like besides Poch and Zidane, you know, do you guys maybe have anyone else maybe in mind that you think could come through and do bits for us? Yeah,
Hmm. Ten
yeah,
Hag. Ten
Yeah, I was
Hag.
about
yeah,
to say.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
Tonight,
I wanted Conte. I wanted Conte to come.
yeah,
My second option has always, well, my options have always been either Zidane or Conte.
yeah.
Yeah, for now, I don't even want Poch. I mean,
Mm,
for
I
me,
also don't want to.
Pochettino, yeah,
same
man, he
here.
did what he had to do at Tottenham, one hit wonder, and I've never seen it come back again. He played Champions League final, great, won the game
Yeah,
by luck against Ajax in the second leg to get to the final. So, for me right now, if I sit and think we can't get Pep, I mean, this is United. We need a big manager. We need a manager that's going
exactly.
to come in and manage the egos. We don't want Steve Bruce who are there to learn. We're not learning
Yeah.
here. We are winning football games.
Yeah.
So yeah, if there's any other option, I'd go for Pizzo.
Pizza, thank
I
you,
saw
my
I
G.
saw yeah,
I
they're
was
expected
about,
to
I was
come through.
about, I was about to say the exact same thing. Pizza Msimane, decorated. Like a lot of European managers, especially in the Premier League, don't have the CV that Pizza has, guys. Like,
Thank
you
you.
know, he's got 3 CAF Champions Leagues. Like that's no joke, bruh. In 2 different countries, one
Yeah.
country where, of course, it's home. The other one, it's a different language. You know, there's a language barrier there, and yet he still managed to win back-to-back caps with Al Ahly, and of course, will feature in the Club World Cup. That's if it's gonna happen this year. I'm not sure if it will happen, and that will be his
Yeah.
third time being there. And there's no one who's ever done that. You know, from a CV
Yeah.
standpoint, not even who's this guy? Ole comes nowhere near Pizzo from a CV standpoint. So for me, man, hey, I'd be happy, man, to have Pizzo at the hub, man.
The
Yeah.
the problem with Pizzo is he's gonna bring Kevin Johnson as his deputy,
You
and we
know,
don't need that. We don't
why
need
was
that there. Yeah. Kevin Johnson has never convinced me. I don't know what they see locally in that guy, but yeah, I mean,
yeah,
honestly, no, not. I mean, unless we can get what's his name, Hans Fink, the
yeah,
German manager, the previous Bayern manager. Unless we can get him, great. Other than that, Wumang Mang Blanc, the PSG guys,
yeah,
we don't want
yeah.
those guys.
There's a guy that I also heard, Remini. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is Rolf Reminick, I think.
I don't know
He's
him.
the one who pretty much, you see, Leipzig are what they are because of him,
Ah,
because he laid the foundation. You know, he
mm,
basically grew Leipzig from fourth division in Germany to where they are now. He's the one who discovered Sadio Mane. he's discovered a lot of players in J. You know, Leipzig even who's this guy,
Oh,
Keita, Navi
Rangnick.
Keita. Yeah, yeah, Rangnick. I can't guys, I can't
Sorry. I
pronounce.
was one. I'm like, who are you talking about? My bad. Yeah.
Yeah, Ralph. Is it? Yeah, it's Ralph Rangnick. Yeah, I've also seen that. You know, he even said that he's keen on pulling through. But of course, if he does pull through, he is a person who likes working on the structure of the team. You know, he wants to like bring an identity to the club. But of course, for that to happen, who's this guy? Ed Woodward needs to relinquish some of his powers and allow this guy to take over. And of course, you know how Ed Woodward is. He still doesn't want to leave the club. He's meant to leave, but he's
Yeah, he
still
doesn't
there.
want to leave. I saw
You
that. Yeah.
see, that's another thing, bruh. Man United guys.
I wanted to speak about what you
Yeah,
said earlier about
yeah.
Ole's footprint still being left at Manchester in terms of his management team still being there.
Yeah.
And I when Modise said the two managers that he'd want to come is Zidane or Conte, is exactly because of that. It's because they come with their own team. I think
Mm-hmm.
Conte's brother is on the management team at
Yes.
Tottenham right now, and I think he comes with his own goalkeeper coach and another like right hand man. And obviously, I don't know who Zidane's team is, but I imagine Zidane on his own is a team. And that
Yeah.
exactly is what we need, bro. Like, we need
Yeah.
a coach who comes through with a no nonsense contract,
Yep.
demands, and demands that are going to be met. And
Yeah.
if anything in his contract, he must be like, I don't want external factors influencing my team. Speaking about
Yes.
your Ed Woodward, speaking about your Sir
Yeah.
Alex Ferguson's, speaking about the class of '92 who need to shut the fuck up.
Hey,
You
they
know?
have to.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
ones, yo, all of them.
Yes.
Besides Beckham,
Yes.
Beckham being the real G, who
Beckham's
his
making
money.
his mind.
He's making his bag. He's like, as in, I don't have time to be commenting about United. I ain't interested in this shit. Whereas Gary Neville and them, it's as if they want a job at Man United.
Man, Gary
Yeah.
Neville should have never made it professionally to start with. He should have never gotten his coaching badges. He should have
Yeah.
never played. He should have never captained United. End of story.
Yeah.
Roy Keane, different conversation. Very
Yeah.
arrogant guy, but pretty. I think the guys just love the team with a passion, and they're friends with the guys. And unfortunately, at
Yeah.
United, it's all a nice relationship. We're just talking to everybody every day. It's too friendly. And for me, the manager I want, and possibly why I wouldn't bring in a Ten Hag right now, is because I want somebody to walk into the dressing room and not be starstruck when they see CR7.
Yes,
They
sir.
need to be able to see CR7 and tell him, you are playing for me, you are working for
Yeah.
me. You
Yeah.
understand? If I bench you, I bench you. If I take you out, I take you out. Whether you get angry or not, it's up to you. You
Yeah.
understand? Nobody is bigger than the team. Nobody is bigger than the
Exactly.
club, right? We know
Exactly.
what CR7 can do. We all would play him without a doubt. But if you can't manage him, if you can't manage a Pogba, if you can't manage, a Bruno now whose ego is also on the rise all of a sudden,
Yo.
then I think, and for me, Eric is managing young kids. I mean, he's not managed a star player. He's not managing anybody who's won everything there is to win in football as a team or even as an individual. And that's why for me Zidane would have worked. Conte, you can see he doesn't care who you are.
Yeah.
Zidane would have worked because Zidane's won everything himself. So whether you've won 5, I've won 6, I've won it. My name is there. So
Yeah.
he was going to be able to come in and manage it. And I guess the language maybe would have been a little bit of a difficult thing to do. But yeah, man, that's for me is what we need.
Yeah, man. Hey, so right now
Cater
we pretty.
deployment.
Yeah, hey, this guy. Hey, he's a problem. This guy who Sway. This guy's my friend Sway. Yeah. But yeah, man, guys, like even like what you said, Moody says is spot on, man. It just shows you like right now, from a planning standpoint, like United weren't even prepared for this day, where they actually sacked the manager. Because when you look at
Yeah.
teams like Barca, they got rid of Koeman 2 days later, Xavi. There was no speculations or nothing. It was like Xavi is coming through. Same thing with Chelsea. Tuchel just got fired by PSG. They're like, my G, pulled through on an interim basis. Let's go, and he did wonders. So right now, I'm glad that Ole is no longer at the helm, but the league is still young, guys. Like, I mean, we're 12 games in, and I feel like with the squad we have, we can still salvage something. We can even still even win something, because I feel like with the team that we have now, we're not in a rebuilding phase anymore. We should be, you know, collecting trophies, and even in a rebuilding phase, you can still win trophies. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, like that can't be an excuse. So I just feel like let's talk about the culture within Man United, especially with the fan base, bro. Like, I mean, I've been having conversations with different fans. I just feel like we're not united as one, because
Mm,
our standards are not the same. Some people will be like, "Oh, Ole did a fantastic job. He, the team was no longer toxic," and in my opinion, that's a lie, because the way he's left the team is is not in he
mm.
left a strong squad, but from a culture standpoint, the players, they haven't yet really reached the heights that they're meant to reach. So, like, what's your thoughts of the culture within our fan base, like Man United? Yeah,
So yesterday after the game on Twitter, I bumped into a space from the
yeah,
UK on United, and it was a
yeah,
bunch of United fans who were upset. They were swearing left, right, and center. They were
yeah,
upset with the result. They were upset with Ole. They were upset with the attitude. And what stuck out for me there was the attitude of the players. I'm sorry. A guy
yeah,
like Bruno. Bruno is a key player for us. Well, from
yeah,
what we saw last season, that's what he is. And,
yeah,
he came in midway through the season before. He played well last season. He continued. This season, Bruno, I think his ego has taken over. And
yeah,
unfortunately, he's not performing at the level that he should. And it seems for me, I do feel there's a bit of segregation in the sense of attitude, because you have Donny on the bench who's upset. You have Jesse Lingard posting West Ham shirts on
dude.
Instagram. You have you have CR7 not having the confidence in the tactics of the manager. You have on the pitch, you see how they play. You can see, they were probably told play like this, and we're like, we don't want to play like this, but we'll kick the ball for the sake of it.
Yeah,
We'll keep the ball and get paid millions of pounds in the next month or whatever, and life goes on. So, there is no culture, man. We don't have the Rashford that used to stick out as a young man and play with the energy that he used to play with. We don't have a Jesse Lingard who we trusted entirely anymore, who we had the confidence in. And someone like Bruno, I'm sorry, but even after yesterday's game, I'm unhappy with how they're managing the culture as senior players.
yeah. And then you really dog.
I think Modise spoke perfectly to the attitude of the players, the culture of the players, and how the dressing room feel or aura potentially is. For me, with regards to the fans, right? I think the fans are misguided, are forgetful of our history, are forgetful of the potential or what we have achieved and what we can achieve. Thus, we, like you said earlier, X, our standards have dropped tenfold. I mean, if everyone who watches this video on YouTube, if you rewind back, I said I'm happy with fifth position. I support Manchester United. That should never come out of my mouth. That should never
Yeah,
come out my mouth. I should be happy
Mm,
with, if we come second in the league, we must have won FA Cup, Community Shield, and Champions League. If we
yeah,
come second in the league,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the Manchester that I
Mm,
grew up supporting. The
mm,
Manchester that, there was times in high school I'd come to school without having watched the game, knowing we won.
yeah,
That's just the mentality Manchester gave me. And right now, our standards have dropped based off the current 8 years that we come from, and it's sad to see, man. I'm having Manchester City kids from Manchester City disrespecting me as supporters, because they have every right to say what they're saying about our club. You guys suck. You're not going to win anything. Your team's in shambles. These are truths coming from kids who don't know what Manchester has been, what it still is, in my opinion, and what it can reach. So, in terms of the fans, in terms of supporters, we're all over the place. We're disjointed. We're against each other. Like, I hate
yeah.
the fact that some people were Ole in, Ole out. What do you mean? It should be Ole out as a collective. Jesus
Collective.
out as a collective. Ed Woodward out as a collective. But no, because I don't know. Maybe because we're a company. We're a corporation. Maybe it's the
Yeah.
money that's fueling certain people's. When like for example, when Ronaldo came, fans were over the moon. I was like, everybody needs to calm down. This man is
Yeah.
is a goat, but this man is not going to carry a team in the Premier League at 36. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just falsehood and misjudgment and misunderstanding within the fans. Because yeah,
And,
that's
yeah, and as well, just to add on to you, Zweli, I just feel as if that's what pretty much the class of '92 did. They basically lowered the standards of the club, by
yeah,
constantly supporting this guy. And a lot of our fans are still drawn to your Gary Nevilles and your Rio Ferdinands. Some people idolize these people, and so whatever comes out of their mouths, it's valid. But for me, bro, like, we are Man United, bro. We should be like Chelsea supporters, bro. Chelsea supporters give zero fucks, bro. Like, if the team is not doing well, they are all on one
yeah,
page because that's the standards that they are used to. And as well, what I like is that their owner as well, their owner standards are also up there. That's why for
yeah.
But
me, yeah, sorry.
no, no,
Yeah,
finish. I'll
yeah,
jump
that's
in
why
after.
for me, from an ownership standpoint, man, I just feel like our team will continue to suffer up until the Glazer family leaves, and then we get proper owners who actually care about football, who are fans actually. Because if you're a fan
Arab
of
money.
football, you see what I'm saying, dog? That's pretty much where I was going to. I was gonna talk about the duffel bag boys, dog. The guys that just put through the duffel bag on the table. Let's go, Modise.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, you also need an owner that listens to the fans. Roman,
Yeah,
Yeah,
once the fans start crying, Shem, Tuchel must know it's time to pack your bags and go.
you see,
And
yeah,
you also don't see, someone like Pep. He can lose a game here, he can get hammered really badly,
yeah,
but next game he makes sure he makes the fans happy first before
yeah,
even
yeah,
himself. He'll make sure he makes the right changes. And Pep again is the type of manager we need, because Sterling is a big player, Sterling is a performer, but he will
yeah,
bench you. He will
yeah,
bench you 3 games in a row and show you that you need to change your attitude. You need to come here and deliver. If you're not delivering, we're taking you off. Why are we scared of benching a Rashford? He's young,
yeah,
man. Why can't we take Rashford out? We don't have to start the game with Rashford.
yeah,
Hmm? Why? Same with Harry, and it's because those guys are controlling the team. I look up to Rio. I love Rio. I loved Rio's partnership with Vidic. Those were the
hey,
games I looked forward to watching. You
yeah,
yeah,
could see this guy's playing with a passion. He changed how center backs played. You know, it was unfortunate we didn't get to see enough of Rio and Lucas Radebe just before Rio left
yeah,
Leeds at the time. But you could see this guy plays with a passion, and even when he speaks, he spoke well. But now with Ole, and again, it goes back to this united relationship. I read somewhere where Rooney said that he speaks to the United people all the time. If they were going to approach him, it would have happened already. It clearly shows that we're speaking to everybody. We don't have control over what's
yeah,
happening. We should be, the board should have a list of names already. Tomorrow they should be ready to announce a manager, and that's it. These
yeah,
these 92 players, Burroy Keane, Bumang Mang Mama, they must stay out of United's business. It would,
yeah.
yeah.
Hey, that one doesn't
can I
want to
just
leave.
can I add something? I
Yeah,
love I love the fact that in this current era of the Premier League, there are examples to be followed. And
yeah.
Pep is a perfect example.
Hmm.
Tuchel coming in, perfect example.
Perfect
When Conte
example.
arrived at Chelsea, perfect example. What Poch did with Tottenham, perfect example. So when a manager comes in, we've had, I don't know how many managers now, but in the last 8 years, we've had so many different managers. It should be easy for them to have looked at who is doing what at what team and emulates, copy, try and do what they are doing in order to gain success. So that's also what's been very frustrating with Ole. And I'm
Yeah.
once again was happy that he's moved on.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
mean, really, bro, what you've just said is logic. I mean, when your competitor is doing better than you, you have to think to yourself, actually, like, what is
They're
this
doing
person
something.
doing
Uh-huh.
that I'm not doing? And then you pretty much I won't say copy, but there's no idea that's original. You can see
Yeah,
maybe something that they're doing and just mimic that, and apply it
yeah,
to and make it your own. And yeah, man, it's Man United right now. I just feel like our board are just not ambitious at all. Like they've shown, like even we've sacked Ole, and there really isn't a replacement there yet. It just shows you that they're not serious about life, man.
It's like the
disappointing.
ESCOM board, man.
Yeah,
It's like
pretty
the
much,
ESCOM
dude.
board.
Pretty
There's no
much, bro.
plan, my man. And really, you touched on Conte and what he did at Chelsea. The one thing I respect Conte for till
Yeah,
this day that he did
yeah,
at Chelsea was what he did with Diego Costa. Diego Costa was a dangerous player. He was scoring left, right, and center for Chelsea, but his attitude didn't fit
yeah,
into what Conte wanted. And Conte wasn't scared to say, I'll play better without you. And what did he do? He won the Premier League.
yeah. And as well, bro, like you see what I'm saying? And that's my thing. Conte is not reliant on individuals, bro. He relies on his system. If
Yeah,
you play according to what he tells you to do, 9 times out of 10, you guys are gonna win or get a result. And so I feel like with Ole, he was all about individuals. That's the reason why he never shuffled the squad. Pep at times, bro, would take out De Bruyne, play for Foden, Zinchenko, play. Even there's a new guy, Palmer.
Palmer.
There's a
Yeah,
new,
the
yeah, there's
striker.
a new. You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he's capable of doing that because he's a person who's very good tactically. And of course, Aaron Hers, with Klopp. We'll mention Klopp for your sake, then Aaron. Even Jurgen Klopp with Tsimikas,
Forgive me.
yeah,
Forgive
with
me.
his
He's
yeah,
also a manager that should be
yeah,
avidly copied,
yeah.
mimicked.
Of course. And what
Oh,
yeah,
Aaron, sorry. Hey, oh
yeah,
no, because I. But you know what? We have to pay respect to what Klopp did with Liverpool. He
yeah,
found
no,
Yeah,
a
big time.
dead team.
A dead
Spirit.
one, bro.
Fans were just scared to wear the shirt. They were
Yeah,
comfortable, number 7, 8, or 13, even. Like
yeah,
nobody even recognized Liverpool, but he did the undoable with
yeah,
players that we deem as small, with players that we deem as rejects wherever they were. Fabinho was a reject at Real Madrid. Salah is a Chelsea reject. Look what they're doing now. Past
yeah.
how many seasons? So Klopp,
Sam.
no, big ups, big ups.
Yeah. Klopp is like a Senzu bean. Remember in DBZ, guys? Like,
Yeah,
whenever Krillin is down and out, they just. And then
I remember.
yeah. Point of correction. Conte won the league with Costa. After he refused Costa to come back into the team the following season, he struggled.
Aye.
The board failed by. Yeah, I failed him. Morata was bad for y'all, man. At Chelsea.
Morata is a cow. Even now at
Yo,
Juventus, I
dude, even for
can't score.
Spain, bro. Yeah.
Guys, having
No,
a
no,
good agent can get you anywhere.
Yeah, no,
nah.
big time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we can
Yeah.
see it, man. But I hope now we'll see with the new manager, we'll see the best of your guy Fred. We'll
Yeah,
see if he
Alfred
plays, if he
Costa
plays,
Fred,
if he
dog.
plays,
He's
if he
gonna start.
plays.
He's gonna start, bro. Fred, hasn't he? Fred Donny right now they're celebrating. They're like,
Zweli,
the technical police have just arrived, man. My
Zweli,
first
what's your
match
Martial.
was
opinion?
my
Zweli, what? Ah, yeah,
Tony.
yeah, yeah, guys. No, man.
Tony.
Ah,
We're
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
release it, dog. We're gonna
yeah. Ah,
mute you, dog.
Tony. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah.
Tony's the
Right.
man, dog. I
Tony in his
mean,
first season, yeah.
Solange made a track about him, bro. If it wasn't for Tony, remember that track?
Ah,
You
yeah,
must
yeah,
Google
yeah,
that
yeah,
track.
yeah. Aye. Zweli,
Tony's the
what's your take on
man.
Fred? I think X and I have had this conversation a couple of times. What's your take and opinion on Fred?
I,
Yeah,
I
Fred.
think I think Fred has on multiple occasions been played in a system that doesn't work to his advantage, and that has exposed him quite a lot, right? And on factual basis, because of that, I rule him out of the Manchester squad. But in general, I think that man can play football. I think he's got an engine. Sorry, I think he can break down play. I on the ball, I don't expect Fred to do amazing passes. To I don't like goal score. I don't want Fred to do that. If anything, he's a
Just
poor man's Conte. Sorry, and I
yeah,
want him to work as that.
That's pretty
Gents,
much
did you
Fred,
guys
my G.
no?
Yeah,
Did you guys watch the Chelsea and Leicester game?
yeah, we
Yeah, I
did.
did.
Did you
Listen,
see? Did you see
Ngolo
Ngol?
cannot be compared to anyone. Yeah,
Yeah, we said
Ngolo
he's a
cannot be
That's
poor
compared to
man's
anyone.
Kante,
Yes,
though.
that's what we
Poor
need.
man's.
We need a Ngolo, a fighter, a small man that can do everything that nobody
Yeah,
else
Yeah,
can do on the pitch. Huh? We
well,
don't get that out of Fred. Fred loses the ball. Fred, yes, we can say, hey, he's a fighter. He'll run back and
yeah,
he'll break up play. This I'm not. Hey, even for Brazil, he hasn't convinced me yet. I'm sorry, Fred.
yeah,
Maybe I'll have a different opinion in a month or two, or in
yeah.
6 months' time. But until then, I'm sorry. It's like Tony. He
Tony is the
played,
man, dog. Tony is
but he played,
technical.
but he
Yeah,
played yesterday. We mustn't forget he was on the pitch.
yeah, yeah,
Did
but
you see
wasn't he
him?
a sub?
Did you see him?
he was a sub.
He
I
He was
he
think
a
some of
was.
these
sub.
players are not being played in a right formation, and their roles haven't been assigned correctly. Like I will never compare Bobby Firmino to Martial, right? But I
Yeah,
mean, if you had a manager who could make Martial play like Firmino and have
yeah.
bursting wingers on the side, Martial is technical. Give him the ball, he'll hold it up, he can do the pass. But I agree with what you're saying. Listen, I'm playing both sides of the
Yeah,
fence here.
Devil's
I agree
advocate.
with what Modise is saying that he hasn't given us anything to look back at and say, okay,
Tommy,
Martial,
Thank
that's
you.
why.
bro.
It
I'm
was his
sorry, Zweli,
first
but
what 2 seasons?
I, I agree
Hey,
with what Tommy is saying
yeah,
110%,
bro.
and I've mentioned it to you, X. You said you don't rate.
Nah,
You said the problem is how much they're gonna have to pay for Declan Rice, which is another thing. Again, he's an English player. They're gonna sell him a
mm.
hundred
Oh,
million pounds,
I,
whatever.
we
But
find with English players,
Kelvin,
bro.
for me, let's bring Calvin Phillips, the most underrated English
agreed,
player that
Yeah,
can dominate
agreed.
and change the way United plays. Calvin Phillips is a fighter. Even when they're
yeah.
losing, he's a fighter. And can you imagine a hungry guy like CR7 with a holding midfielder like Kevin Phillips, who can be versatile also? Yeah?
Yeah.
That's what we need,
Yeah.
not Fred, man. Hey, Fred must
Fred.
go
You guys, when Modi say you take McTominay over Fred, that's what bothers me
clean,
the most about you guys.
clean. I
How
would
dare you
bench
guys say
Fred
stuff
every
like
day.
that? For
Look, I mean,
McTominay.
I would
Ah,
play. I would play
ah.
personally. Personally, I would play
Yeah,
Donny as the only CDM. You understand? I wouldn't play two holding. I'll play Donny as the only CDM, and I'll play Pogba in front of him with Bruno. Bring Bruno a little bit back, right? And then
yeah,
we play with the two wings, Rashford and Sancho, or Sancho and Greenwood. I'll bench Rashford for a few games. I don't want to lie. I don't. I'm not even gonna play there, you know. But
yeah,
for me, that's how I'd play. I wouldn't play with two the way we played Matic
yeah,
and McTominay, or the way we play Fred and McTominay. I wouldn't do that. But if I were to
yeah.
choose between Fred and Scotty, I'll play the Scottish boy.
He's play, the guy who plays centre back for Scotland.
Ah man, hey man,
Huh? He plays centre
hey
back,
Bafana,
dog,
Bafana,
for
Bafana, Bafana,
Scotland.
Bafana,
Fred
Bafana
plays for the
play.
Seleção. Do you know how big the Seleção is?
Yeah,
What
they
do you
big.
say?
Does he
This
perform at
guy's
that
he
level?
performs for the
Aye, man.
Seleção. He starts
You
ahead of
send me that.
Fabinho.
You send me that video where he killed
Yeah.
the whole play.
Yeah, I just wanted to make you feel good about yourself. It's important, you make your friends feel good about themselves. That's what I do. I'm that type of friend. Like I'm,
I'm sorry. Fred has to convince my heart for him to play.
yeah.
When I saw he wasn't starting, yeah, I was happy. But then when I saw Matic, I was
But
like, yo, God.
so you'd rather you know what, guys? It's fine. It's fine. Let's wrap this up, guys. Like, thank you so much once again for availing your subjects. This episode at least was calm, even though we lost 4-1. At least Ole is out the door. I'm happy that he's out. But ish, we I feel like United we can still salvage something in this season. The
Is
12
that
games.
Yeah,
something top four?
yeah.
Ish, bro, we can't
Because
get
it
I
top
can't be
will
four.
get
Champions
them.
League. It
We'll
can't be
get
Yeah,
top
Champions
four.
League.
even
West
captain's
Ham.
edge.
We're gonna
Champions
replace West Ham there.
Yeah, West Ham, and Arsenal most probably. But guys, we can't lose to Arsenal, guys, because we're playing Chelsea next in the Premier League. Okay, we play Villarreal tomorrow.
X, what did you say about
Mhm.
Champions League?
We can pull a Chelsea, bro. I mean, remember you were talking about examples. You're like, yeah, two
Aye.
examples.
With the players
No,
we have, we can though.
we
Zweli.
can, Zweli.
We
No,
can.
we
With the players we
can.
have, if we get the right
We
manager
can.
to come and play the right formation,
And the and as well, if the draw is
man.
favorable, bro, at times, dog, to reach finals, look at England in the Euros. To reach the finals,
Guys,
Mm,
dinner
mm.
besides
on me
Germany,
if we win Champions League. Dinner on
dinner's on
me.
Sharp,
you. I sharp, really, dog. And
sharp.
where
I
though?
will
At
take
Marble,
it.
man. At Marble, like a very bougie place, dog.
No, I no, but Nami, I'm
Yeah,
with you. I'm a United why. I'm still
yeah,
confident where West Ham must get out and move and put us there in the place we're
yeah,
supposed to be in, so that we can fit. Arsenal can play number 4. We'll finish number 3 or whatever the case is. It's fine. The
yeah.
problem is there's Liverpool, Chelsea, and Man City there that we need to
Ish.
try rub shoulders with. And Liverpool is on a high. Man
Yeah.
City's on a high. Chelsea's on a high. Yeah,
Ish.
West
West
Ham
Ham's
is
See
on
on a
a
the
high.
high.
I know Wolves did the job. I mean, Wolves did the job. Jimenez with that finish, he did the job
Mm,
for us. At least West Ham, I know they will drop eventually,
Of
especially
they
course,
if they
of
will.
reach
course.
the latter stages of Europa League. Because what
But we
happens
have
is
to
that,
all agree.
yeah,
Sorry, X, sorry. We have to all
yeah, I know,
agree that the only position we're gunning for is fourth, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
fourth on the
Okay,
dot.
cool. Okay,
It's
cool.
fine. Fourth, and
But
then maybe a FA Cup nyana here and
yeah,
there.
but
Yeah,
Zweli, it takes us beating Man City 1 game, Chelsea 1 game, Liverpool 1 game to finish number 3.
Fair,
hey,
fair.
dude, if
It
that
takes
would
Again,
that,
happen,
and
I would
but I
goosh.
mean we've done it before. We've beat
Yeah.
Man City before.
yeah.
Yeah, we have. We have. We
We've
have.
beat
We
Man
have. We
City
have.
before with Ole,
Yeah, with
without
Ole.
CR7.
CR7 is
Let's
the
we'll
So
see, guys.
problem
We'll see.
then.
we're capable of doing it. But before we go, can I just send a shout out to the Sundowns women's team for winning
Yeah.
the CAF? We mustn't forget
Oh
about those
man.
ladies. They taking South African women football to another level. We're super proud of them. I'm not a Sundawana, but big ups to the ladies. Really, what
For
Sundowns is
real, for real.
doing to African
Yeah.
football is phenomenal. And we can speak about United, but we mustn't forget those ladies.
Yes,
Yeah,
Yeah,
sir.
no,
so
those
that's it
ladies
from me.
did. Yeah, no, no, no.
And
Thanks,
they beat a
Modise.
Ghanaian team. Hey, God.
Yeah. Yeah, which is man, yeah. Hopefully as well, Bafana also wins the case and we
I think
can
tomorrow they're
replay these
sitting on the
guys.
case, so we should have feedback hopefully by Friday. But
Yeah.
Not so
Ghana's.
shy. Even if we play them
Uh,
again, not so
I'm
It's
sorry,
really stop
X. Can
hating
we just
now.
spend 5 minutes and talk about this?
Yeah, we
I
can, we
argued with
can. Let's
I
go.
argued with somebody, a friend of mine, who said, "Is Bafana sure they want to play Ghana again?" Guys, we are playing with a young Bafana
Mm,
squad. Nobody knows
yeah,
those players. Nobody
yeah,
knows the
yeah.
tactics those guys are going to come with. Those boys are running, my man. They're not scared. There's no star player there. We are all the
yeah,
same. Ghana is not going to beat us. Never.
yeah. No,
I
Never.
no,
We're
no.
going to beat Ghana in the next leg 2-0. Watch.
Two
I had
nil,
to throw a
bro.
little spice. Of course, we're
Ah,
all
no,
one
Aye.
you.
team, man.
Yeah, you
He
Aye.
hating,
knows me.
really? Yeah,
Man, Bafana,
yeah,
Bafana now, I'm proud. You see, I never used to speak like this about Bafana. Even if
yeah,
I didn't watch a Bafana game, I was okay. I was like,
yeah,
it's Bafana. It's like Chiefs. If I didn't watch Chiefs, but
yeah,
then I didn't watch the Chiefs game, by the way, yesterday. Ne? But I woke
yeah,
up and I saw 1-0. I was like, yes, at least let me watch the highlights now. So then I switched on. Now I can start watching Chiefs games. It's the same with Bafana. You start watching these games. And
yeah,
once United starts winning, you're also going to look forward to sitting in
yeah,
front of the TV and watching the games. Bafana guys has to go, and I'm telling you, if Bafana qualify for the last 10 and we get
yeah,
to play against DRC, let's say,
yeah,
we qualified.
Yeah, we're gonna win.
yeah. Yeah, if you get
That's all we
DRC,
need.
definitely. I just don't want
That's
the
all we
Arab
need.
nations. The Arab
Ish,
nations can miss
ish.
me because those ones I fear them. I won't lie. All of them. They just
We can
they
even
they
take
just
on Cameroon. They can bring
yeah,
Cameroon. We'll,
yeah. You
we'll
see,
give them a
yeah, we
run.
can. We can give them a
We'll
run.
give them a run.
But the Arabs, bro, it's as I'm fine with those teams.
Algeria. You,
You
Algeria.
see, we
What?
draw
Allah.
Algeria, and they would give us six, bro. I'm telling you,
Yo.
Marius would
Yo.
Marius would run circles around us. Dog.
Yo, it'll be It'll be Al Ahly versus Kaiser Chiefs if you watch that
or
game, the cafe.
or,
Oh.
or
That game
Pirates,
was
bro, because
embarrassing.
Pirates has never won against Al Ahly, bro. Pirates stay
But at
kicked
least
out.
Pirates, when they played Al Ahly, my man, they were fighting. You understand? You had Festival there. What's his name? The left back. The guy from Tembisa, I forgot his Matlaba. You had him
Yeah,
running
Matlaba,
riot
Taba,
there.
yeah,
You had him
yeah.
playing very well there. Now,
Ish,
Chief Al Ahly made Chiefs look like amateur players, all of them,
dude, that was
all
a
of
bad,
them,
yeah. That was
the whole squad in the final. Yeah.
yeah,
Aye, man. So we can't
yeah,
be playing football against them. But for me, I just want these young boys to go to the World Cup, get the
yeah.
recognition they deserve,
Yeah,
get the credit they deserve, play for bigger teams. Then I'm telling you, we're
Mm-hmm.
on the rise. If
Yeah.
if we go to the World Cup and we change managers by then because we know what Safa's capable of, then
Ish.
unfortunately, my man, we're gonna go to the World Cup with Temba Zwane, who's gonna be 33 or 32 by the end of next year when the
Yeah.
World Cup comes. We're gonna be playing Temba Lodge, who's busy there dating women all over the
Yeah.
globe. Attitude problems we've got. We've
Yeah.
got an attitude problem in South African football that needs to change. And I'm not saying he mustn't date, he mustn't be, but remember what Hugo Bro spoke about stability, getting married,
Yeah.
getting it changes your attitude around how you see and perceive the game. You're playing
Yeah.
for a purpose. Now these guys are just playing football for the money.
Yeah. I mean, to go to Conca, my G. Guys just want to go to Conca, buy Ace of Spade, and yeah, and that's
Man,
it.
we have Dumisani Zuma, who I loved, my man, at Chiefs.
Mm.
He's suspended for drinking and driving. That's
Ish.
and I'm sorry, I've bumped into Dumisani before COVID at Taboo in Senton, and it was after a game. I remember very well. I was out of my mind here, but I said, "This one I know him." You know, I said, "This one I know him. I can see it's him." Oh, Chief, you're here.
Yeah.
You just played. He's like, you know, and back
Yeah.
then, obviously, we're having fun. He's young. We are doing our
Yeah.
thing. But as a player that
Yeah.
wants to don the shirt. And I'm not saying don't groove, don't have your fun, but you must have a certain level of discipline here and there. You can't come after a game to a club. I'm
Straight to the
sorry.
club,
You
bro.
ca-
And of
you
course, we
can't do
know
that.
that, and we know his intentions, man. Why he's
You
there, like,
understand? You understand?
yeah,
You understand?
yeah. And
And
another one, it was George Libisi. George Libisi used to like
ish,
going to these, especially these hip hop events. There's a time when Menzi and I went to DJ Dimples' birthday party. Yeah, homie was there, George Libisi, dog. With his
mm,
stock, you know, petty
all
store,
over.
Wanjiri, all over, dog.
Mm,
Popping Ciroc
mm,
and everything. And this was the time where he was still like playing for Chiefs, like where he used to start for you guys. And
mm.
yeah, man, in my mind, I was like, hey, dude, like, you shouldn't be doing this, bro. You should be focusing more on your craft. But hey, this is
Eh,
a team, dog.
they forget that it's a short career in South Africa,
Yeah,
my man. And,
yeah,
I get it. Maybe you're giving a young 27-year-old 120K a month. He's going mad. You're giving him a 1 million rand bonus. He's out of his mind. You understand? Maybe if you gave that to me at 25, 24.
yeah. Who was he dating, dog?
Hey!
OFS, my G. Who was he
So.
dating? Please, dog. Shit, spell.
Nah,
Give me
the
like the
things is
first
what red.
first first two letters, dog, of their name. Yeah.
No, the things we used to see there at Res were happening. Like Kibaloy was
Yeah.
dating someone there at UJ,
Yeah.
one of the Reses there. For me, it's not a problem dating. It's not a problem. Maybe
Yeah.
you're finding your stability. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, this groove thing, there must be a level of. It's like me if when I go to work right now, I can't go to a Mahodu Monday knowing that on Tuesday I'm going to span. You
Yeah.
understand? I can't be doing that. That's why I'll rather groove on a Friday, knowing that Saturday I get to relax. I'm
Yeah.
resting. Sunday, shabu, you spend the whole day not drinking, you're cleaning, you're checking what's happening with span, you're getting back
Yeah.
up to speed. That's how I do things. But if I'm a soccer player now, I can't be the day before. When we know Bafana's tradition is you don't have sex before a game. Don't have sex.
Yeah.
It's one
Semen
night.
retention, dog.
It's
Semen
one night.
retention.
it's
You
it's it's
Yeah.
you
a
can score
mentality
more, my
thing,
man.
guys. It's a
Yeah.
mentality thing. Like Modise, you have formulated a schedule, a routine, as in terms of balancing your lifestyle, in terms of having fun and work. Like I know for a fact, as someone who plays football, a lot of football players don't see this as a job. They don't see it as a job. They see it as
Mm,
ngadala, talipol.
Yeah.
And it's not a
mm,
9 to 5. When you reach the highest
mm,
levels, it's a 9 to 5. You clock in at 9,
mm,
training session. Then after you go to recovery, stretching, and then you have a video session, and then second sessions at 2 to 5. That's a 9 to 5, bro. It's a job when you reach the highest level. So it's a mentality
mm,
thing, man. Where these guys just
Yeah.
don't they don't
mm,
at like semi-pro to professional level, they don't zone in and realize that this is a job, dog. It's
mm.
not just
It's a
volleyball.
whole career. But I
Yeah.
guess
Yeah,
that's the difference between a Shava and a Lutulunyani who played till they were 36,
And even
37,
Bernard Parker, dog.
and
Like
Parker.
Parker
yeah,
is still balling, bro. He's got a
And
degree
Parker
now.
likes Stoko, but
Yeah.
discipline is there. And that's why, if you know, and I'm sorry, maybe Parker, hey, I don't know you, but hey, chief.
Dog.
But all I'm saying is that at the end of the day, he's still a human being, but you'll never
Yeah.
see it in the public. You'll never
Yeah.
yeah.
see any of his mischievous behaviors in the public. Kune had to be banned from social media.
Yeah.
Why?
Hmm.
Because he kept
Our
saying
As
what's
a
captain.
popping.
captain, a
Remember
captain,
him and
yeah.
Kapuza when they had a convo together. It's like, what's popping? What's popping? Then
and then
Kapuza was like, hey,
and then
what is this?
Kune said he'll
But
swipe the pass so that they can go to Moja Cafe the one day. I mean,
Yeah.
guys, why, man? Why? Why? Look
Yeah.
at now Teko. Teko, he's
Mm,
not playing anymore, but Teko's married. He's building his family. His life's changing. The way
mm,
he lives his life now is changing. There's more discipline around the decision making. There's more
mm,
structure in what he does. He's respecting his craft a lot more. And I like General, you know. But
yeah,
what he's doing now, he should have actually done a lot early in his career. That guy,
mhm.
my man, he would have played easily in Europe. Had he
Yeah.
I know
changed,
General Bega
Yeah.
hot guy.
you
There
understand
was no one to
why?
take over.
Yes, why can't we build that in South African football? That's what makes me angry. And that's
Yeah.
why a Kaiser Chiefs plays the way it does. And that's
Yeah.
why a Pirates plays the way it does because discipline. I mean, you
Mm,
have Ben Mutwari. What is he doing, my man? I mean,
mm.
Patrick Pungwa, a former player, now is arrested. Why? Why do we have those cases here?
Yeah.
Hey
I
man, it's
don't.
like we said, it's a structured thing, it's a mentality thing. In terms of
Yeah.
structure, let's see what Manchester's going to do, guys. Let's see
No
what
doubt.
Manchester's going to do.
No
Yeah,
doubt.
glory,
No
glory,
doubt.
Man United, man.
Yes, sir.
That's
Yeah.
all.
Yes, sir. Guys, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Help us out with the algorithm. This is the goalpost. Gents, peace out.
Peace, gents.
Later.